Yes, today we still continue to see how best we can achieve sales targets. Well, companies, organizations are always having targets, and they set these targets either monthly, quarterly, annually. And in today's discussion, we want to see how best one can be at his target in a month or in a day. Um, we have big understanding that for a company to grow, there must be numbers, and the numbers have also to be growing. So if you ever think of doing a business, or you ever want to invest in a business, numbers are so much determinant to the success of any kind of business. Now, as we look at this, we want to give our focus on how best managers are outside there. There are those who are struggling with numbers, and probably there could be those also who are doing well. But again, what they consider to be good or to be doing well is not all enough. And in our today's focus, we'll be seeing how best can we achieve set targets. Because at some point, we've had managers who complain, and they are ever some are not comfortable with their sales targets. They at some others claim that the sales targets are too high, and they feel like it's not easy. It's not easy to be at this, and there are those who have even given up on sales targets. Angel, you've been having this discussion with me before, and this is why I said let us now look at how best do you think sales managers of companies and organizations, and even individuals, well, there are individuals who also have their targets. I maybe say someone says I want to be at 1 million this year, I want to be at $2 million. So all these are targets, and we have so many different targets and different categories of targets. But today we will be so much focusing on sales target.
Yes.
I welcome you on this channel.
Thank you.
And it's not the first time you are on this channel. And I will continue to be with you.
Okay.
Because you've been so much in sales, and for the time, the people who know each other, and they always find how to work together. So we want to share our ideas with the community outside, and all those that are viewing this channel.
Those who are listening to us, of course it's me, your life coach Angel Bahawa, and of course I'm happy to be hosted by you, Mr. Ignatius. Initially I was a visitor. I think I'm becoming a constant visitor.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So basically, when we look at targets, it is something that everyone should have a target. And when it comes to sales, it's an obvious thing. But I want to first regret that most people don't have targets, sales targets. There are people who are operating businesses that don't have even targets. And
do targets in any way matter?
Of course, targets matter. A target is a point where you're aiming at. If we could draw an illustration from the Bible, when you sinning, according to the Jewish definition, is failing to hit the mark. That's
sin. How the Jewish understand about the sin.
So when you fail to hit the mark, you have sinned. So in business also, particularly sales, if you fail to hit the mark, you are a sinner, and then you should be punished. And managers, they are fired because of the sins that they commit. So sinning instead of is failing to hit the mark or the target, and it came from the ancient ways of throwing javelins, ebichumu. So whenever they would not hit the mark, they have said they would consider him a sinner. So in business, we also have a mark we are aiming at.
Okay.
And when we are setting these targets, we are looking at different aspects. We are looking at the cost of producing the services or the products we are actually bringing to the market. We look at the cost of servicing clients. We look at the, of course, motivation of the members, the sales or team members of the entire company. There are several things we consider when we are setting targets. Then we are like, if we made 100 million in less than 3 months,
Okay.
we are able to break even, or we are able to incur the costs and continue operating. But unfortunately, most companies don't hit their targets, and they find that their costs overwhelm them. Either they close or they sell themselves to another company. They merge. In economics, they used to call it mergers. Like a big company gets another one. They kind of unite to do something. But most cases, mergers come from, especially in Uganda in particular, they come because of the work is not well done. Sales targets are not hit. So when we are setting sales targets, we are basing on those factors. We are like, so when the manager is told now, we want to make 500 million. When the manager is saying, why don't you put it in sales? What we are saying is that when we are setting targets, there are those factors we base on. And basically we are looking at the cost of production. We are looking at future investments.
Okay.
We are like, if we made 500 mark, we are able to pay the costs of producing the same products or services and be able to actually have enough money to invest for the expansion of the business.
Okay.
So that is the director, they sit and like, well, let's have this target. We need 500 million worth of profits or gross profit, so that when we remove the rest, the net can be survived for paying the shareholders and of course saving for the future investment of expansion of the company. So that's why targets are very key.
And very important.
Very vital. Another thing, targets also acts as a motivation. Like if you are making 100 million a month and then you stretch yourself to 200, so you get motivated. You give your team a challenge they are aiming at. Unlike most people who just wake up and they wake up, go to work and they have no single target. It's like moving in life aimlessly. Even Christians, they have been given a target of going to heaven.
Even the Christian.
Yes, so they work hard to be in the heaven. So because targets restrict you
From doing what is not.
Yes, so they restrict you. For the case of Christians and Muslims and those who believe in
And
heaven,
any believer.
no, there are those who don't believe in heaven. So,
Okay.
and also want you to listen to these things. They have a target. You also have your own targets. But these targets help to formulate our way of doing things. Because if you are actually, if last month you made 100 million, and you want to make 200 this month, then you must double your activities. You must double your investment. You see how a target influences the decision making of the entire company. So whatever company that doesn't have targets, then it's bound to fail.
I have had managers say it's not good to achieve also your targets, because when you make to the targets, they keep increasing the targets.
Now, why are you? Better, let's look at the targets and sales. These people, I said in the previous recording, those who have not seen these recordings, you go back and check out. We say the salespeople, sales department are not employees. They don't have a salary. They have a commission. And every entrepreneur earns a commission. You get, when you say you are not the manufacturer of this jacket, when you are selling it, you only earn a commission on what you sold.
What you've sold.
So salespeople, whatever you big or small, you are an entrepreneur. So when you are an entrepreneur, it means one thing. It means that your job is to help people.
Okay.
So when you hit a target of selling 1,000 pieces, computer pieces, it means you've helped 1,000 people access computer services.
Well, that type.
Yes. If you are selling loans for the sake of IG, if you help 1,000 people achieve their loans, you can see how many families you are transforming. So increasing over the targets are not a bad thing. In fact, you should see it as a good thing. You've helped more people get better lives.
This brings me to my past experience.
Yes.
And personally, how I came into sales. I remember the first time I was appointed as a branch manager.
Yes.
My sales target was 50 million. But why the company gave me 50 million was because civil servant loans. So they sold 50 million. It was big for the branch, right? Now I made what I did was to the first month. The first month from the time when I was appointed, I made 55 million. Now, 55 million, this was like a miracle to the company. But again, 55 million to me, I was still feeling like it's still small. So the next month, I made 60 million. It was 70 million. So making 70 million, the company raised the target
to 100.
to 70 million. From 50 now to 70 million. I challenged them and moved to 100 million.
Yes.
So that was the target now. Then from there they said no, this guy is not where he is too the branch is small. He needs where he can he needs a big area. That's when I was elevated to a regional manager. Yes. So the people from your point, what I pick is that sales managers who also fear like increase in sales targets are also looking at fearing for promotions and maybe high pay.
That is, before even you look at promotions, look at how many families, how many people you're helping by them accessing that loan and how their lives are changing. So you shouldn't be limited by the target, because the target means, unless you're not passionate about what you are selling. If you don't like what you are selling, leave it. There are things we don't like. Like, you can't tell me that I should start selling pigs. However, they are profitable. I'm not comfortable
with selling the product.
Yes, I will not even be persuasive.
Are you saying that also a sales manager, it is better for someone to sell a product that he is also, he can also buy?
Of course you can't sell what you can't consume. If I was the owner of a bank and you are a loans officer, you'd be the first consumer of the loan. If you're scared of loans, then you won't do better at selling loans. So for a company, whatever company I always choose to work with on sales, I make sure that I'm first consumer, so that I raise the complaint would raise consuming that product, so that I solve it before my clients can identify them. So when I'm selling, I'm not looking at how many, I'm not looking at the target to be a burden, I'm looking at how many people I can help to access my services. Okay. Because these services and products, they become services and products with one intention, making your life better. Look at your coat, you look smart, you look good. So someone who made it must have thought of you being smart. You get? So imagine how many, if you are selling coats, how many people should you make smart?
That's the target.
That is the target. If they set 100, like jokingly, me I want to help 200 people. And when you help 200 people and the coat, the suit is 500,000, that is around 25 something stuff you can do in 2-3 months. Depending on your workforce, your work ethic, and your level of motivation.
I think, Angel, there is, I've seen some managers trying to depend on lies. They always have a feeling like things are going to happen. They are positive, but what they are doing, or some managers, I use the word some managers, because they are those who really understand what is all about sales and how best they can also be at their targets. Now, I had this, I wanted to be on ground and try to realize what really makes the target.
Basically, even when we were going to the targets, we are also looking at the market analysis. The market analysis, as a sales or a marketing manager, you have, or a general manager, you have to do your market analysis. You are selling loans. Are the people that are able to access your loans? Are they able and willing? So when you're saying, oh, we're going to make 70 million per month in gross sales of loans, ask yourself, what is the earning abilities of your community? So you don't just wake up and set targets. How many people are interested in courts? Let's say your environment is infested by Muslims, Muslim community.
And you are opening a pork joint.
And you're opening a pork you're selling suits. Muslims do wear in kanzus. So if you are aiming at selling suits and you raise your targets, then you are mad. You have issues with your head. So as we are looking at the cost of operations, future investments, we also do market analysis.
So you mean that if someone is also looking at setting sales target and
Yeah, you
and the
first
product,
analyze.
one needs also to analyze the market.
The issue is when you make 70 million, as you boss, I'm not saying that I'm going to raise you to to 80. No. Before I raise you to 80, I need first do analysis. Can the 80 come from these communities where the operation, the region of operation, is it possible? What are the gaps? What are we doing differently? That's why you can hit even 800, so 80 million, and they still keep you at 40. I've done the market analysis, like this was the season. Next season, it may not be like that. You get, so as managers also do market analysis before you set targets for your sales team. First analyze the market, first do the research. Unfortunately, it's only like 2% of the Ugandan companies that do actually market research.
So
it's like when you're starting loans, your company, do you do market research? Like, will people get interested in my products?
And you know, here in Africa, most of the companies have not much invested in research, because research is very expensive. We need to understand that, and it's not very expensive again, because if you look at other companies, maybe outside Africa,
yes,
they do much in research. That's why they are in position to come up with improved products, improved technology, improved service delivery. But here, for us, we've always like, it can work out. Try it. When you die from there, that's all. If you succeed, you celebrate.
So that is the problem, living by chance. And that's what has kept Africa poor. And that's what is keeping us poor. And it's what will continue keeping us poor. We just think, imagine out things before studying that really to work out. You get? So that's all the problem. You have to first do the market research. You need to first analyze the people, the behavior patterns towards buying your products or services. And of course, we do purchase stuff influenced by our behaviors, our behavioral pattern. You are eating, there are people that is eating a Rolex, then you will eat rice, you will eat matoke. You study that trend for like 6 months. Then you find they say when people eat Rolex, they immediately eat rice. So it's time to bring rice into the market. So they are based on scientific data. So you as a sales and a marketing manager, you have also to base your decision on scientific data.
You know, there has always been this kind of thinking that salespeople can sell anything.
No, that's dangerous. Salespeople are not crooks. I'm saying selling is not convincing people to buy anything. Selling is helping people make their best decisions
To buy
acquiring something. You can't sell anything. Like I can't sell pigs. I'm not comfortable. Yes. Because in fact, people don't buy your stories. People buy your conviction in what you're selling. You can fake it, but not long enough. I hope you understand. So it's dangerous to think that Angel will sell near anything. No, there are things I'm not comfortable. Even there are certain companies I cannot work with. Because of their values, I don't believe in their values. So selling is all about expressing your conviction of something you have. And you're trying to say, this thing is going to help you live a better life. This thing is going to help you reach your ambitions. So in that case, it becomes easier for me to sell to you. One, I'm passionate, I'm consuming the products, and I'm convinced that it's going to help you. I'm not trying to push you. It's only the amateurs who believe that they can sell anything. You cannot. I don't like plastic materials. You don't expect me to sell them. Because even by talking about them, I will not love them.
So you will not have that
passion
to sell it.
Yes.
I think when we come back on extending this discussion, we'll be looking at how can we help sales managers achieve their
now, in
targets.
short, as before we go, the targets, like when you're helping the sales managers, what we have said should be behind the back of every person. Market analysis, the visions of the company, then the motivation of the team members. You get.
and
Yes.
product.
Oh, no, of course.
Products
That one
and
we
services.
don't normally talk about it because they should be exceptionally good. Your services and products should be exceptionally good.
Let's get back
Yes.
and we'll extend from there.